Lightweight bout between Manuel Torres and Trey Ogden, plus 145 for Ogden, minus 145 for Torres. Over under set at 1.5 rounds, minus 119 for the over, plus 119 for the under. Manuel Torres coming off of a couple of first round knockouts in his debut against Frank Camacho and in the Contender Series against Colton England. So pretty good on the feet. He's got a lot of power. I can't really put too much stock into that first round knockout against Frank Camacho. Camacho, he's 2-6 in the UFC now. So I mean, I can't really get behind that win too much. His losses in the UFC are to pretty good competition, Camacho's. But at the same time, probably took a lot of damage against that competition and might have cleaned up with that fight against Torres. Trey Ogden, big win in his last time out against Daniel Zellhuber. Decision win as a pretty big dog, and then a loss in his debut against Jordan Levitt. Split decision, so pretty good fight there. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I think for Ogden, man, he just got to go out there and try not to get into a firefight with Manuel Torres. Torres, obviously, like you said, coming off of the knockout over Camacho, who doesn't have a good record in the UFC. But in that fight and his other fights, you can tell the guy has raw skill and raw power on the feet. But man, it makes me nervous because you had Daniel Zellhuber go out there as like a minus 350 or minus 400 favorite against Ogden, and then just completely gets outfought the whole entire fight. Ogden, he doesn't have any knockouts on his record. He's not going to go out there and just box you up, but he could get you to the ground. And if he does, he's got 11 submissions on his record. He's good on the ground. Manuel Torres has 2 submission losses. So that's something that kind of jumps off the page to me is we know what each fighter is going to want to do here. Manuel Torres is going to want to headhunt and try to take your head off. And then Trey Ogden is going to want to avoid all that and get this thing to the ground. And if he gets it to the ground, I just think the skill gap is going to be somewhat large here. I just don't see Torres being able to hang with a guy like Ogden who, his specialty is going to the ground. So I think Ogden's tough enough too to withstand some of the striking and some of the exchanges. I just hope he doesn't mess around too long on the feet to where he's getting touched up so much and, he's kind of wearing himself out and not able to get those takedowns or be explosive enough to get the takedowns against Torres, because Torres is an athletic dude. He might stuff a takedown or two, but as the fight goes on, I do see Trey Ogden kind of taking this thing over. I think Trey Ogden drops the first round, but as it goes on, he gets some control time and will fish for submissions. If I'm playing a prop on this, though, I don't mind the Trey Ogden submission prop or the Manuel Torres KO prop. Trey Ogden's never been KO'd, but just from what we've seen out of Torres, he can find the chin and he does hit hard. So we'll see what happens. For the pick, though, I'm going to stick underdog. I'm going to go Trey Ogden, kind of on that train. So that's what I'm feeling tonight.
Yeah, I could see Ogden coming through as a dog here. Fought a really good game plan against Zellhuber. Just stayed safe on the feet, used a lot of kicks, and used lots of really good movement, and just kind of had the game plan like, I'm going to go out there and outpoint this guy. Level changed here and there. He only landed 1 of 9 takedowns, but still throwing that at him made him think about it and was able to land one. So if he wants to use that in this fight, I think that would be a very smart decision. I don't think you want to stand with Torres for that long, considering the power he's shown recently. And he throws a ton of volume as well. I mean, for his UFC stats, it says that he lands 10.50 strikes landed per minute, but he's only been in the cage for like 5 minutes. So he throws a ton early. I would be interested to see if this fight goes longer, if Ogden can take over, if he just withstands that first round. Maybe Torres, fighting in front of a live audience for the first time in the UFC, comes out hot and maybe blows his load a little bit. He's had a lot of first round finishes, and he doesn't make it to the scorecards too often. So I think the longer this fight goes, he's only been to 1 decision, and he won it by split decision back in 2018. Torres did. Longer this fight goes, it's going to be Trey Ogden taking over, getting takedowns, and just outpointing them. Probably going to come with in with another good game plan as well. So very live dog. I'll take him for the pick, but that's just a pick. That's not where any money's going, and I'll keep an eye on him as the week goes on.